Thank you very much. Now that we have
8
already,
minutes. Yeah.
now that we've already just heard this big discussion, my role becomes a little clearer because I just got to do a critical review of clear lens extraction. So extraction of a clear lens when visual symptoms are minimal is definitely a controversial subject. And the EAGLE study was done to look at it and many more. Let us therefore look at both the positive and the negative aspects. What are the risk factors associated with angle closure? We know more age, the mean ACD, which is much lesser. We know that they have occludable angles and females are more common to have it. We know apart from smaller anterior chamber width, area, and volume, they have thicker irises, greater lens vault, and iris curvature. And all of these factors clearly point to a lens extraction as a mode of treatment in PACD. However, let us look at the positive aspects. What does history have to say? All of the studies that have been done right from 1945 onwards have only spoken about cataract extraction. They have not talked about, none of them have actually spoken about a clear lens extraction. And all of the time we have known that cataract extraction probably does yield good results. So cataract extraction for PACD has been practiced for many years. And are such spectacular outcomes actually expected with a clear lens extraction? Should one really opt for a clear lens extraction as a primary procedure in absence of visual symptoms? Non-invasive treatments like drugs and lasers do give us the desired result. There have been comparisons with phacoemulsification and phaco trap, wherein the intraocular pressure is definitely better maintained with the phaco trap than the phacoemulsification, only there are a little more complications. So what is
sorry to interrupt, ma'am, sorry to interrupt you. Your slideshow is not there. Your slide is stuck on the first slide itself.
My slideshow is not there.
Yeah, it is stuck on the first slide.
It is on the title slide. It is not, you're not moving the slides.
Oh my God.
We are able to hear you very well.
Yeah, you are very nicely audible, but your slides are not moving.
I don't know why my slides are not showing because I can see them moving on my computer.
Okay. I think
ma'am, it's okay. We'll hear you nicely.
Okay, so the standard care and angle closure is laser iridotomy followed by medications. If nothing works, then there is filtering surgery. And in case there is a cataractous lens, then a lens removal as well. What are we proposing? A clear lens extraction, which is a difficult surgical procedure. The lens is large, the chamber is shallow. There are plenty of refractive surprises due to wrong predictability of the ELP. The corneal endothelial damage may happen. Infections are something that we need to think about. Opening up the angle does not change the pathology in chronic angle closure glaucoma. And the quality of life in terms of vision in a clear lens extraction is clearly not a question at all. And there are more problems because there can be zonular instability. There can be an atonic or an atrophic iris, making pupillary dilation difficult. Long-term use of pilocarpine can again lead to posterior synechiae. Pupillary stretching because of this can lead to uveitis and chronic inflammation. How does clear lens extraction then reduce the intraocular pressure? Probably because of deepening with the viscoelastic and the hydrostatic pressure during surgery, which can strip open some pre-existing peripheral synechiae. Probably the phospholirrigation could flush open the trabecular meshwork as well. The cataract extraction deepens the chamber, opens the angle, and increases the aqueous outflow, and probably, therefore, is known to be useful. In primary angle closure, clear lens extraction has shown good results in terms of IOP lowering, reduced need for medications, and a decrease in the PAS. However, this may not happen in all patients despite the opening of the angles, and therefore, a glaucoma filtering surgery is required. But there are negative aspects. PACD is not a single disease entity. It is a continuum of different stages. Each individual can be unique in terms of disease stage, and the management profile has to be tailored. Ravi, Thomas and all have described the role of lens extraction in the management of each stage. So in PACS, for instance, a prophylactic PI is advocated due to the relative safety of the procedure without resorting to a clear lens extraction. And there have been plenty of studies done on clear lens extraction by Tham et al., by Dada et al. And there is, of course, the most famous EAGLE study, which has been actually, I think, discussed in great details just now by Manish. And we know that the EAGLE study showed a mean IOP just 1 millimeter less. We know that only 3 more letters in the ETDRS chart was seen, and because there was no problem with vision with the clear lens extraction, the certain modeling methods showed that the ICER would drop a little bit together with the quality QALY gained in 5 years. The CLE would reduce the need for glaucoma therapy. These factors may improve the quality of life. However, there are studies which also prove to the contrary, and there are studies which say that there is no evidence to support lens extraction as a treatment for chronic PACG. There is a study bias in the EAGLE study where 805 individuals were assessed for inclusion, 386 patients were found to be ineligible, 419 patients were included in the study, of which only 208 patients actually underwent the clear lens extraction, which just goes to show how much sampling bias there was. And it is also not clear how many patients had lens-related factors like lens vault or intumescent cataract in these patients. The quality of life questionnaires used by the EAGLE study may give rise to erroneous and biased results. The study protocol itself, the details of the protocols were not available, and therefore it is not possible to analyze the influence of these factors in the study. In Dada's study, again, would the results have been different if the medications were added or changed? Because within 30 days, within 8 weeks after the diagnosis, the patients were operated. There are plenty more flaws in the EAGLE study. Therefore, not performing a procedure that is safe, easy, and effective, such as a peripheral iridotomy or an iridoplasty, and waiting for 4 to 8 weeks to perform a clear lens extraction appears to be pretty improper. IOP reduction following lens extraction does not seem to be related to the extent of the peripheral anterior synechiae prior to surgery, but it is more related to angle width. A gonioscopy, which Manish has already said, may overestimate the degree of synechial closure. The refractive outcomes are are just not correct, and you can get a lot of refractive surprises in a healthy population. This is because we do not know the estimated chamber depth post-op, and there could be a very poor refractive predictability or a suboptimal predictability. Plus, we know that there's going to be a loss of accommodation following the clear lens extraction in a relatively young population. We've got to look at the complications. Intraoperatively, there could be complications like the PC tear, the iris prolapse, and the vitreous loss. And postoperatively, we could have a malignant glaucoma, flat AC, corneal edema, macular edema, spike in the pressures, and not to forget endophthalmitis. Other things that we need to know are false interpretations, because we know that the significantly low IOP mentioned in many reports is often ascribed to the phenomenon of regression to the mean. Higher is the intraocular pressure, greater is the IOP drop after phacoemulsification. And the baseline pressure in the EAGLE study was greater than 30 millimeters, and in Dada's study was 25 millimeters. So this could be attributed to the regression of the mean. In the EAGLE study, we did not see any change in the visual field deterioration as compared to the standard care groups. However, the number of glaucoma surgeries performed subsequently in the two groups have significant differences.
Apologies to interrupt now, but the time is up.
Okay, just one last slide. And therefore, clear lens extraction still remains controversial. And until more studies come up to show us what is the benefit of going ahead with a clear lens extraction, I think as of now, we better stick to the standard care. Thank you.